morning everyone. Today's reading is going to be, did they want to make a move the last time you were together? So we're going to have a look at a little bit of detail, what you were both bringing to the situation, more specifically what they were bringing, to be honest, because you know what you were bringing, how the situation went and what were their thoughts and feelings and action. What did they want to happen? You've got three choices. Today's choices are cars. I'm a very sort of Virgo household where it's cats or cars. So you've got the little Herbie, what they're called, beetle car, very small white one. You have got the more toy beetle car, which is a bit something out of a cracker really. And then you've got the Land Rover, which is very dusty, to be honest. So it depends what sort of mood you're in. Which one do you fancy? Oh, well, pile number one, this has got a really unusual feeling. This has a feeling of somebody who may be like Pisces, Sagittarius, maybe even Gemini. There's a mutable sort of feeling of somebody that's flicking in between intentions and what's actually coming across, and in a bit of a state, I would think, trying to almost like hone it in and come across as being really all together and not succeeding inside themselves. This is a type of feeling of somebody that bolts out of a situation or mumbles something and walks off. It just has a feeling, it's a messy pile of somebody who has good intentions and is not really got their mindset under control to deliver it, is what I'm thinking. So I don't know if this feels right. I'll go through it why I'm saying this. These two cards here, hopes and fears, and I'm guessing like a smug happiness. This person's attracted to you because they're coming across as the Ace of Parents, the Ace of Cups. The attraction is like the type of attraction that you get when you go home. You meet somebody, you go home and think, oh my gosh. You know, a few times in your life you actually meet somebody and they really stir something inside you and you think, I want to know that person more because I might not get the chance to see that type of person again. It's just like you tend to hold on to certain people and think, you're my type. This guy or this girl has gone home and thought, you're my type. There's something to do with coming to the situation with an optimism and an intention, and then I'm wondering here as it continues, not delivering it. There's also as well, there's anxiety. To put these two cards together with regards to what they're bringing to the last meeting you had, you've got like a wish fulfillment card, feeling really happy, feeling like you found the person, and you've got an anxious card. Those two together make me think that the person is, they feel, I'm not saying they are, they feel out of their depth in some way, which is a really strange word to put, well, phrase to put to that. It's a feeling of performance anxiety. It is a feeling of performance anxiety, I think. Then you've got here these two cards. This is like a small square that is a really sort of compact version of the whole spread. You have got conflict. I'm assuming with regards to the Eight of Swords at the bottom and the happiness card behind, that this is internal conflict. And this again, the Two of Swords, is somebody who's been nervous. To put it into straightforward terms, somebody who's been very nervous before they've met you or they've seen you. So I'm assuming there's some backdrop to this. Basically, they've let their mind run away with them. This is probably somebody who is quite airy or likes to play with thoughts, or very Pisces again, has a, feels less Sagittarius the more I go on, because I can't imagine possibly could be actually. Possibly could be. This is somebody that projects their thoughts forward and has basically run the whole meeting in their head, and then some negative thought has nipped in the middle of this thought process and made them feel less than, as if it's not going to work. So this is somebody who has been basically the victim of their own thought processes here. So The meeting, this is what I am getting from your meeting. You're coming across here as the Emperor. You look as if you're sat there, you're steady, you're not as nervous as they are, everything's fine. You're just assuming that you're going to take the lead, that you're the boss, there's control there. I think this person possibly feels more for you than you do them, and has, or either that or they've got quite low self-esteem and don't think they're going to measure up to you in some way. And then you've got cards here for a feeling of trying to keep the ball rolling, and possibly this, I know this card is like a Neptune feeling, but with regards to the cards that we've had in the past, it feels like somebody who's talking too quick, who walks backwards into things, who's quite nervous to me. And the question is, do they want to make a move? It feels like they started off wanting to make a move and then felt like they've let it slip. Within the meeting, they've let it slip because there's a feeling of distance here. There's a feeling of not knowing what to do. You know when you're sort of put on the spot in public and you're grasping at thoughts in your mind and you're trying to grab one that makes sense, so you do something, you look normal? This has got this feeling about it. This person seems to have lost track in some way from their original intention. And they're coming across as the Knight of Wands. I'm going to pick through this and I will get to sum it up at the end. The Knight of Wands is somebody who possibly has got themselves overexcited in some way, because you've even got this for the hopes and fears. So this person has jumped the gun, I think. This may be somebody who's naturally quite nervous, or if they're not naturally quite nervous, you've come across as quite intimidating, and it's made them feel either they've got to move or they've got to talk, because it has a really strong feeling of attraction that's turned into nervousness. And I've said nervousness. The end card is the Devil. So somebody starts off with this feeling, the Ace of Cups. Somebody starts off feeling attraction, feeling, it's like innocence, the Ace of Cups. It's like you're not thinking ahead, you're just feeling. You're just in that moment. You know, you're attracted to somebody. This is them. They're attracted to you. You feel good. You look good. You know, that it's just like the type of feeling, as I said at the beginning, it just feels right at that very moment in time. But the end in the Devil, it feels like this person has, the word is berated that just came into my mind, has gone home and berated themselves in some way. So with regards to making a move on you, it doesn't feel like the Devil could be sex. Let me put some more cards on there. It could be actually be the move, but it feels like it was like a fumbling run up to it, which very may well be. Thoughts, Papa of Brushes, very much goes with the Knight of Wands, because it is basically an upgraded version of the Knight of Wands. It's movement, it's excitement, it's somebody that has desire. And that is the word for the Knight of Wands, desire. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's nice. It's nice to have, you know, sort of intention and want to do something with it here. But their feelings are, these don't fit in with these feelings at the back. You've got the Ace of Cups here, you have got the Nine of Cups behind, so, and they've got an anxiety card as well. So this person's trying to control their actions, and then it ends up in fire. And I don't know whether this fire is physical fire, but it feels as if, I don't know what's happened. It feels as if there's a throw up here between actual physical contact that actually happened. So you wouldn't be asking, you wouldn't be coming for a reading whether they wanted to make a move on you if they had. Because I'm wondering, the Devil card here and the Fire card here, the Nine of Swords. I have these thoughts in my head of kisses that went wrong, or, you know, when you're sort of like, oh, my sister-in-law is lovely. She's like Sagittarius moon, I think conjunct Neptune. She's silly, and I quite like that. I quite like silly, and she comes down here and she stays with this man, and we joke about that he's really attractive. He's like a farmer. She stays on his land in a house, and she said that she went to kiss him, and he's such a lovely man, went to kiss him goodbye, but basically just kissed his neck. And I don't know if I've made this up in my head to make it more exciting, but it was a little bit longer than she wanted it to be. This is what this cards are making me feel like. Something that has gone a little bit uncomfortable in some way. So I think you know this already. The Devil and the Nine of Spray cans is the Nine of Swords. So this is somebody that's gone home and felt anxious about some sort of either a movement that's physically happened or the internal process of desire. Which probably, with regards to the question, I would go with the second one more. I get a feeling here with this spread that this person's gone home and felt anxious, or wish they'd done more, or wish they'd done something different, or wish they hadn't kissed your neck. It's that type of feeling here. Let me put some more cards out and see, that I'll start summing it out. It feels like it actually ended in a harsher way than they expected. You know, one of those situations where, say you're not in control of your insides very well, and you go into a situation, you're quite nervous. So you're almost, you're a little bit sort of jarring yourself. Your energy's all over the place. You're not quite controlling it. You always expect to see the Chariot in here. Sorry, dog's just come in. Come here. Come on, it's on the bed. You almost expect to see the Chariot in here, where somebody's trying to hone and be directed. It feels like they're all over the place. This person possibly has got like a very nervous quality about them. Strong Uranus, strong Mercury, Virgo, Gemini, that type of feeling, where life can be quite... Sorry, I'm out of breath from running downstairs. Life can be quite difficult unless you get your mental processes under some sort of wrap in some way, because this is all over the place. This is almost like waiting, but there's no action. It's like waiting for something to move, and probably looking at you to take direction in some way, which you may have done. You may have made the move. And then it ends in a feeling of overthinking, over-analysing, from a very, very good beginning. So your question is, or my question is, did they want to make a move on you last time you were together? I would say so, because there's anxiety here. There's uncontrolled emotions, uncontrolled actions probably as well. There's probably turned into a more I think they've turned more submissive as the meeting's gone on, because these two cards together, one is, I know it is an action card, but it feels as if it's waiting for something next to the Emperor here. It's as if they're waiting for you to do the action when they've come in all gung-ho at the beginning. My dog is sniffing around everywhere. The more I look at this, the more I think that your person may naturally be more physical. Oh, excuse me. Okay, the more I look at this, the more I think that your person may be more, past relationships, been quite at ease with getting physical quite early on. With these cards here for them, and they've got the King of Wands as well, and this for hopes and fears. This person's coming into your meeting assuming it's going to turn physical very quickly. This is what I'm thinking now, the more I look at it. They've taken a more of a back step with regards to you coming across as quite confident, I'm guessing here. This person with these cards behind, I think, is used to getting their way in some way. strong fiery cards, somebody who found somebody they find physically attractive. This card here is slight anxiety. Do you know what it makes me think of? Somebody who functions extremely well in one scenario, that possibly has had past experience of boyfriends or girlfriends that fit a particular mould, and then they meet you and they're slightly out of their depth in some way because you seem to be immovable or very controlled with your inside nature, and it's made them jittery. It's something that they probably had anyway to begin with, but probably get past or through situations, I'm guessing, with charisma, with charming and sexual, and then it ends up in the devil. And I don't know whether some move has been made and either been rebuffed in some way with the devil card there and the 9 of spray cans, and there's been a huge sense of the devil. Devil's a great card. It can mean so many things, can't it? And I'm just thinking here, with the fact that this person's quite anxious, what would the devil card mean to them? You know, this person fits a role very easily of being charming and being I always think of Joey Essex. Do you know that sort of, yeah, charming? I was going to say Mother Loves Him, but Joey Essex is a real classic, isn't he, of somebody who is different from the way that they appear. Because I know that, I think his mother died very early, and I think he's got a Pluto moon or something that shows that there's a really determined different part to him than he actually appears like on TV. And this is a feeling I'm getting here, that this person has been thrown back onto some psychological processes that they don't normally play with in relationships because they like to keep it surface level. So this is changing slowly, bit by bit, into a very different read. This person's come to you in this situation, this get-together, thinking it's going to be easy. There's anxiety there, and I think that is something that they hold inside themselves. You've come into this situation as the Emperor here, so it feels like they've got a certain role to play, and it could be almost like, I'm going to say a bit of a player role, and I don't mean that in the sense of in like a childish way. It's just somebody that likes to play with people, somebody that has desire and likes to fulfill it, not in a nasty way. And then they've been thrown back or thrown out, I think, of the pool in some way with regards to how they normally act. Yeah, do you know, it's a type of thing when you go into you meet somebody and you're really attracted to them, so your mind follows a certain mind process, thinking this is the person for me, you know, this is it, I'm really attracted to them. And then you get into the situation and you are more than they expected, and it's like they can't play that role anymore. I know this is getting really sort of convoluted in some way, and if you've pulled into the reading thinking you were going to get a really straightforward answer, this is more complicated. There's too much going on in this. There's too much flipping ideas. There's too much anxiety. There's distance here to me, and then it turns into the devil, which to me, with these sort of psychological feelings behind, has got something to do with their internal process. So this is probably more than a straightforward. Okay, I'm going to sum this up. Do they want to make a move last time that you got together? Before they got to the meeting, before you talked, before they saw you, without doubt, yes, extremely strong feeling of attraction. You have got the Ace of Wands, you've got the Ace of Cups. It's like this person has seen you and gone, well, hey, and then just followed a normal process of can't wait to see them, can't wait to, the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Cups. It's like, oh, how, my attraction, let's just get moving with it. This is fun. And there's a slight bit of themselves that's not integrated very well. They've come into the meeting sort of thinking, I'm just going to do my usual self and they'll fall into my arms. And then bam, you've turned up all steady and controlled. So they've gone flipping all over the place and sort of taken a more submissive role where they're sort of waiting for things to come towards them. And then the end scenario is, I'm guessing, I don't know if there was physical contact, but the answer is yes. they really did want to have physical contact with you. And it could have gone either way. This could have been some sort of physical contact that burnt in some way, where I'm guessing something was uncomfortable, or it was more than they expected and it shook them in some way. Or probably the most possible scenario is that this person has had to look inwards on themselves, which is probably the most boring scenario when you're looking at this type of reading. But this has a feeling of that this person has left the whole get-together feeling, I can't fit that one role and make it work anymore. So you've had a real impact on this person when they've come to a meeting thinking they're going to play Jack the Lad or Jill the Lad in some way. You know, sort of just happy-go-lucky. Let's have contact, let's have physical contact, you know, and carry on, and it's all nice, and you've got them. You've got them by the dubras in some way, I think. I'm going to leave that there because I feel that, you know, possibly maybe more than you may have wanted. Just can't, you know, it's just things I pick up. I like to feel what is underneath the cards, I think, and it doesn't always, and especially with tarot, it's more psychological than it is the mundane. I think it's a mixture of both, but to be honest, it's for us all to be thrown back to look at our own mind processes, and that this is a different spread. But anyway, I hope that resonates, and I hope they get back in touch. Bye. Okay, pile number 2. Similar to pile number 1, there's a lot going on in this pile. This, with regards to the question as well, did they want to make a move last time you were together? There's a feeling like, yes, but there's more to it. This has got a feeling of somebody who uses their mind as much as they use their body, if you know what I mean. Somebody that's been attracted to something that you've done or something that you've said or the way that you've looked at them, or just some spark that you have had between the pair of you has lit this person up. It feels like the person's quite slow moving, possibly quite tentative, because they're coming across here as the 4 of Wands, which is a very stable feeling. And in this card, it's like, you know, if this person's coming to a meeting with you and the lights, this sounds funny, doesn't it? The light is shining out this little turtle's flippers. It's like they're trying to understand you, because you're ending up in the Star here, which has a very sort of, I think people like, you know, the Star is quite Aquarius, quite pulled back from life. They like to watch, they like to look, they like to understand. So this person's coming to you with quite a gentle feeling of wanting to understand you. And it progresses into what I'm guessing here. They've got the answers that they want, and it feels really good. So did they want to make a move on you? Yes, but there's more to it. There's more to it. This has got something to do with somebody finding, it's almost like a little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This reading is quite complicated. You have got the Emperor and the Empress at the side here. Somebody asked me, somebody on Patreon asked me what did I think of the Emperor? Or they might have asked me, it was basically in the comment section, what's going on with the Emperor and the Empress. And I try not to answer things from books, you know, from textbooks, because I've got an awful memory and I can't remember. And unless I've actually that is a lot of it, to be honest. And I don't remember things unless they've happened to me or I've seen it. So you get a lot of personal observations, I suppose, which I don't know whether people like that or not, but that's the only way I can remember things. With the Emperor and the Empress, these cards have come up in the past, or this feeling has come up in the past, when there's, let's just say, let's talk about male for now, just because it's easier and you can flip it. Maybe I can flip it, but you may have to do that. Let's just say, in astrology terms, the male's got very feminine Sun, very feminine Mars. But quite, sorry, somebody just opened the door, but quite a tough or cool feminine planets, like an Aries moon or a Capricorn Venus, you know, that type of thing. So this person comes across as being very sort of personable, very, you know, soft, but what type of a woman they're looking for is quite different from the way that they come across. And oftentimes I find this pairing when they meet somebody, or you meet somebody, and it's like you're their other half, but nobody else would have expected it, and they themselves probably didn't realise it. because they're almost like a split personality in some way. They meet you and it's like you fulfill the other half of them in a surprise, different way. Probably surprise to both of you. Because this person, whether it's a man or woman, feels like there's like an uplifting meeting where they're actually like looking at you and thinking, you are my, I know this sounds really sort of over romantic, you are my other half. Because having those two cards at the side here, and having the star here and the wish come true card here and then a change card is probably, and I know I'm jumping to the end of piles, which I always do, has that feeling. So that is what I'm getting from the very beginning here. You've got here cards of the Knight of Cups and the Tower behind. And there's a feeling here of almost anxiety to do with a group situation or defensiveness to do with, I'm guessing, other people involved in some way maybe. And then you've got the Tower and the Knight of Cups behind. I don't know what this means, to be honest. Subconsciously, the Tower, these are thoughts. I don't know whether this is right. I'm just going to pick through it. The Tower card could possibly be that this person has stretched outside their comfort zone to make some romantic gesture. You know, they may already be in a relationship, or you may have something between the pair of you that stops you getting together and they've actually made the move, or there's a sense or a tension there that feels like it's perhaps shouldn't be in some way. Yeah. I don't want it to sound wrong here. I'm trying to think of relationships that could be difficult. There's an age gap, or, you know, this person could be a friend of a friend, that type of thing, or just something that is a conversation that's gone a little bit further than they expected it to, or there's some meeting that's gone a little bit further than they expected or intended it to, the Tower down here, and flourished. It's funny that you've got the Knight of Cups behind. So this person has romantic intentions. This is quite a lady or gentleman pile. This person has quite a dignified, I'm going to say dignacious, but I'm not going to say it, a dignified feel about the way that they're approaching the relationship. It's like somebody who's prepared to wait, somebody who's quite romantic, somebody who's got quite a sweet nature, somebody who's trying to feel their way, and then it all changes. You're meeting, it's like they see the way. So I see the light. You're coming across as the King of Wands. So I'm wondering whether you're coming across, which is funny as well, you're coming across as the King of Wands and they're coming across quite gentle. So these Emperor, Empress could be swapped. As in the female in the figure could be the more feminine one, and the male, the more masculine one, and the male, the more feminine. Possibly just thoughts here, because these two have me thinking, and then you're coming across as the King of Wands here, and that's quite a forward pushing, exciting movement card to me. It makes me think that somebody's, and you can see by the card, it's like somebody who's brewing sexually, somebody who wants something to happen, somebody wants something to move, and it feels exciting. So you're there waiting for this move, and this person's just really pleased to see you. It's a bit of Mae West there. Why have you got the Tower card subconsciously and them or the situation surrounding as being sneaky? There's a feeling possibly that your meeting has, clandestine is the word I'm thinking here, and I don't know what I mean. You know, it could be something really simple. It could be like, I haven't got work cards here, but let's just say you're in school together, or you're in work together, or it's a normal everyday situation and you've met and you've done something very normal, like had a coffee, and this person's feelings have started rumbling. It's more like an epiphany that, and you're probably thinking quite sexually, I guess. And they're thinking, I can see the light. It does honestly feel like that. Yeah, and the hopes and fears. It's funny saying that. I didn't see this when I said it. I don't think I did anyway. You've got the 9 of hopes and fears, the 9 of cups of always feeling shut out, and then there's like a little rainbow of this person's head. Interesting pile. Did they want to make a move last time that you were together? Yes, but I think it was a late dawning thought. It was like somebody that's romantic and wants to, you know, but possibly wine and dine you in some way, or take a very slow way to getting to know you with the Four of Wands here. It feels like on meeting, there's something difficult about the situation. I don't know whether there's like something in the way, because there's defensiveness, there's people, there's something as if they feel there's something sneaky going on. And then within that meeting, it's like they've had an epiphany of attraction here in some way. And you've come with the King of Wands here, where your thoughts, your feelings are more straightforward. You want things to be moving, and they are still in their head, but it's like, it feels as if it's like, you shouldn't begrudge them that because they're really happy. I didn't know another way to put that. This is them. These aren't sexual cards. Yours is sexual card. Theirs are, I'm really happy with this person, and I'm really sorry to say this, and it's got something to do with them finding those parts themselves that they feel may not feel complete, and it's different parts. I wonder whether you are quite different in some way, but it's with that difference, within that difference, because of you coming across as the Wands and them coming across as the Cups, and this feeling of steadiness from them and not from you. Your feeling is more push forward and get it moving, and they are more, I've just realised how attracted I am to this person. So this, again, a bit like pile number one, is not some humdinging sexy answer. It is a answer of somebody waking up to the attraction. So did they want to make a move? Yes. Are they the type of person to make a move on the I'm going to say first date, but you have to interpret that to whatever date you were on? I would say no. But you've got, this is what's going on inside their head. Those beautiful cards I've just shown you, which mean like wish come true. Both of them together have the meaning of wish come true. It's that, and then you've got the Emperor and the Empress. It's finding that at the heart. This is a really complementary pile. Something internal, something big has happened internally in this person. You've got the Death and the Tower. Consciously, subconsciously, it's complete change the way they see things. You've shocked them. Meeting you has shocked them. And honestly, with the Emperor and the Empress there, it's like meeting their other half. It feels like they've come to the meeting, the Knight of Cups, half expecting it, but not fully. I don't know whether it's something you've done, the way that you've come across. You know, with you coming across as the King of Wands here, it doesn't matter whether it is the Emperor or the Empress. It doesn't really matter whether the person's male or female, or but there's a feeling here. I wonder whether they have got, let's just say it was a man. It doesn't have to be, but let's just say it was a man who had a fire moon or a fire Venus, and then you come across and they're like, you epitomise their ideal person. Is that the right word? Something that you've done, the way that you've talked with passion, or the way that you've seemed excited by something has really grabbed their interest in some way. It could be the way that you moved. It could be the fact you're quite athletic. It could be the fact that you even red hair, or the fact that you're just excited by life has really got them, and it's a surprise. It's a shocker to them. I have this picture of somebody just sat there watching you and not saying that much, and you being quite all engrossing in the way that you're coming across, or the way that you're acting, or the way that you look. You know, I get an image of somebody walking into a room dressed in red, or somebody who's quite vivacious in some way, in the way that they speak or the way they express themselves. And this person, to me, from this path, is quite mesmerised by it, and feels like they haven't said that much, because these Aquarius, these feeling cards, are quite internal. It's like watching and thinking, that's the one. So did they want to make a move last time? Is a difficult one to ask, because I think it's more than that. I think this person probably has a huge crush. And it's got something to do with your feeling of grabbing life, being life, and why am I thinking fizz pop? Isn't that off BFG? because you've got these cards here. It's like they found their other half in the way that you're coming across. And if you're coming across like this, it's something you're coming across as... Sorry, the door keeps letting me downstairs. There's something quite... Oh my God, it's my dog again. It's my husband hiding because I keep saying, is that you again? There's something sexual about the way that you come across that has woken them up. But then it turns from an internal sexual processing to like, oh my God, I don't often feel that way. That person has woken me up. And then it turns into wish come true cards. So the answer is yes, basically. There's a long-winded yes in that one. A nice pile. It feels they could have, before I go, you have got between the Empress and the Emperor the mentally stuck way, which is the Eight of Swords, which is anxiety, which I'm wondering whether there was some form of processing of these feelings that you may have picked up in your communication, where they went quiet and they couldn't talk and it's not their normal nature. Because they've come into the Knight of Cups, she's really smooth, really loving, really lovely, and it's changed into a huge amount more here with the Death in the Tower internally, and then physically what you would have picked up in the environment between the pair of you, the Star and the Nine of Cups, is happiness. To put it simply, happiness. But, and I know you're all looking at this, I don't know if you are all looking at this, but the way that the title's formed is you're looking for some sort of sexual contact. This is there, but I don't think you would have picked it up that much. You were probably expressing it more than they were. And I think this person, a bit like pile number one, went through a stage of possibly being nervous through recognition of you being a part of them that they actually wanted to, you know, were hoping to get sometime in their life. Right, pile number two. I'm going to go there. I hope that helps. Bye. Okay, pile number three. All these piles have been difficult to interpret. It feels like really complicated situations, you know, situations where I'm expecting to read two people that are out partying and falling into each other's arms, and it's been really easy breezy and you almost know the answer. This is a difficult one as well. I can tell you what I can see, and I hope that it helps in some way. You can pick bits from this that you may recognise and mill them around in your own head to see, you know, if you can sort situations out and for yourself. This person's coming across possibly as the Magician, or probably as the Magician and the King of Pentacles. So, and you've got work cards behind. So either this has a feeling of somebody there's a stubborn feeling to this, and somebody who's quite proud. This is, I'm guessing, somebody who's come into the situation who is not easily fooled. It doesn't feel playful. It possibly could be playful with the Magician, but there's a feeling here that this person, I'm guessing, has an ego. Not in a bad way, but in a way that they've built themselves up in their life and nobody's going to take that away from them quite easily. So yeah, that is ego. Yeah, that is ego. And I'm wondering as well, the fact that's crossed with the Queen of Pentacles, you know, there could be just a lot of earth going on in here, which to me speaks of, with regards to the whole pile, stubbornness. It's like you play your hand first feeling here. And you're coming across, whether you're male or female, as the Queen of Pentacles too. And it's like, yeah, you show your cards first, definitely. It feels like the meeting had some sort of emotional connection, but it feels to me as if it's not got that touchy feeling. It's not got a childlike feeling. It's got a very sort of, you know, a conversation where you're both holding boundaries extremely strong. There could even be, and I think this was a feeling in pile number one as well, where those boundaries might be there for a reason. You know, it could be like a boss-employee scenario with a work situation there, and a feeling of, you know, the King of Pentacles, and then you're coming across here as what is quite a underhand feeling. You know, your intentions may not be totally clear to them, or you may have intentions that you may not want to confess openly to anyone. And The situation surrounding is them, I guess, here with this stubborn feeling of holding their own. It ends positively, but this is like an internal fight, I think, between the pair of you. It's like you're both trying to move it forward. There's some anxiety there to do with something that doesn't feel quite correct. So it's not a straightforward meeting, I guess, here. I don't know why I say that, and I might be totally wrong, but there's too many cards here that speak of stubbornness, control, and just not in a bad way. Not that this person's come in, I'm going to say in a gimp suit then, and I'm glad I didn't. But this person has come into the situation with strong boundaries. So I don't know whether there's a situation where they meet lots of people who find them attractive and they don't want to reveal too much, or whether it's a situation where it's not the correct way to conduct yourself. And then I guess that you've exchanged information and there's been an emotion, there's been a sort of an emotional exchange that feels good. It feels like you've got on really well. There's like you may have even revealed feelings a little bit to each other. It feels more like subtle ways, like eye contact, or in a loving way, like asking about them, or with this up here, the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups here. It could be this person's a family person or you're a family person, but it feels like your exchange or your meeting has gone well. It feels like you've connected, possibly talking about family, possibly just having a mature conversation, and it feels as if it's quite a giving conversation, not in revealing, but giving as in polite giving, you know, sweetness and kindness, and it feels polite. Is what I'm saying. It feels polite, but it feels like it's the right thing to do at that right moment, and it goes well. And then I'm wondering whether with these two shirty cards for you and them, whether there's something that has been revealed in that meeting that has caused this slight loss. Not total loss, because it turns out positive. So I'm working my way back to you, babe. Did they want to make a move to that question? I'm working my way to it. So you have got two cards here. Possibly a feeling here as well is that something has been revealed that has stopped you being close in this get together, because there's two cards of walking away here. There's cards of a stubborn person, there's cards of a polite get-together, and there's cards of maybe revealing something, or even an unsaid something. The fact that it's cup cards could be just emotions that are felt and sensed rather than said, of how far you can take this relationship. And then it's ending the wheel. Now the wheel is a great card to end in because it feels like hope. It feels like this person has gone in with a wall around them, thawed slowly, even if they found out something that that it's not possible to get moving at the moment, but they walked away with more hope. The wheel card at the end is hope for something else to turn around. And you've got the world card here as well. It's like ending, it could even be like ending pretenses or ending a situation they didn't really know what was going on. It feels like this person may have found out that you haven't really got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and that's fine. And this could say why these cards come up as a little bit sort of suspect. This isn't a straightforward answer as well. I'm really sorry. It's like there's a lot going on behind this pile. And all three piles have not been straightforward. Did they want to move? It's like they're playing with thoughts and feelings. But to be honest, let me just put some more cards before I say this. Oops. I think that this get together with the pair of you has revealed something that's given them hope, and it's like towards the end of the meeting is when they've actually wanted to make the move. They've come in with boundaries, they've come in with a stubborn stance. They've been, I guess there's been some sort of prying, and both of you have been sort of, you almost expect to see one of these cards where the scorpions are backing each other off the cliff. It's like asking questions, trying to find its feelers out, asking questions, trying to find out more about each other in between polite conversation. And then something's been revealed that has maybe felt slightly uncomfortable. Slightly uncomfortable. It's like some revelation, which is probably the truth, but then it's like you've built up this relationship again in their head with more positivity. So I think it's towards the end that the physical thoughts and feelings have come in, and it feels like a standoff at the beginning, this one. It's like the boundaries are causing anxiety here in this get together, and through something you've said or something you've expressed, which feels quite truthful to me, there's more hope here. And coming back to the question, did they want to make a move? To have a card with a Jupiter field at the end is probably the very positive card to have with regards to attraction, physical attraction. It's like the wheel is quite a positive card anyway. I know it goes up and comes down, but I keep thinking, that's Jupiter. If you've put the effort in, you're going to get you're going to get your comeback. If you've directed yourself or you've directed your actions, then you're going to get these sort of comeuppance in both ways, positive or negative, I suppose. This feels positive because these cup cards here that made me feel that the connection had an emotional connection they possibly weren't expecting to have, has made them feel as if there's more hope to have physical contact with you. There's too many cards here around to not make this confusing. If you're coming across as the Seven of Swords, which is funny because this was the card that I pulled out of the pack and I just picked out one by accident. Accidentally happened. It just came into my hand. I was picking up to show you the cards. So, Seven of Swords, it has having to take a different tack on things. And that could very possibly be so if you two are quite stubborn and almost looking at the other one to make the first move. And I wonder whether the tack that you've both taken is to be honest. To talk about a situation that you're in, whatever it is, and to be honest has changed this person's feelings. Because they're coming across as, this is just boundaries all around for this person. It's like somebody who may hold a position in some way and doesn't want to look weak. And you're coming across almost matching them, and they're trying to use words or very intellectual approach to the situation, and you're like, that's not going to rub with you, and you've turned to emotions, and actually that's probably the best tack you could have taken. So that is what's happened with this card here, because it does turn into fear of walking away emotionally, but with regards to the meeting, it's like an emotional expression. And this card, sorry, I'm getting there. This card could possibly mean by through expressing their emotions, coming across as the King of Pentacles and the Magician up there, that may be the part of the Magician that they may not have been able to get a grasp on before. It feels to me, if I could sum this pile up, and I know you're looking for physical attraction, it feels as if it's got something to do with thawing them. In some way they've relaxed in the meeting, and that's when it starts opening up, and then this person has probably gone away and started to think about you in a totally different way. How does this person think about you now? Okay, possibility, probability, doesn't really matter, ability. They see you in a different light. They've gone into the meeting not really knowing. It's like a business meeting. It's like somebody that's gone in thinking, oh, this is nice. Somebody's gone into this meeting. They've gone into this meeting, I guess, without expectations or not knowing what's coming towards them. This person's very proud, very much in control of themselves. They've gone in, and as they've started revealing, there's feelings being revealed. It's like it's like a slow burner. It's an emotion. It's a very romantic feel, and it's almost like they've released something. And this is what makes me think of tears. It makes me think that it's like, tears are like, is it carbon dioxide? No. It's like it's like a thawing of some sort of, it has like a karmic thawing feeling about it. It's as if they've let loose on something that they normally keep quite contained. And then that's when the attraction started. That is when they've started feeling a stronger pull towards you. And then it turns to this. They want more of you. They want, there's like a decision has been made to have more of you. It's like you've turned something on inside them. It's like you've broke down their barriers by, I guess, this could have even been something you've said. You know, if you've asked about family or you've had some sort of emotional conversation, you've seen a change in their face, that is the moment that they've started seeing you in a different way. Because it feels like blocked off, something emotional has happened and they've released something. And you've got the 2 standing there, you've got then the 2 2s here. It's like some decision has been made in that get together and they've seen you in a totally different light, which is very attractive because it ends up in the Wheel and a 10 of Cups. I think this is the most romantic pile out of all of them because it's the type of thing you make a film out of. You know, when a couple are working alongside each other or know each other and it's, you know, everything's fine, they've got their own life, they've got their own problems, they're stuck in it, they can't see, you're looking down, you can't see up, and then a meeting happens and then something's revealed and then in that split second it's like, that's the one. And it's like releasing inbuilt trauma in some way. It's like, yeah, I can move with this person, and that's what it looks like. There's movement, there's like an emotional connection, definitely emotional connection to have the 10 of Cups twice, and then it turns into this person, in this person's mind, you're a real possibility after that meeting that you have in your mind. And I know you want more than a possibility. I'm guessing you want more than a possibility, but that's what it feels like to me. It's like the World card is ending what they had in their mind, what they perceived this connection was, and it turns into something bigger. And it's releasing anxiety. And once again, you've got so many 2s. There has been some decision in this meeting that this person has changed perspective on how they actually see you, how they perceive you. And it turns into like rainbow. It does, honestly. It's like, and it's funny that you get the analogy of the tears here, because it's like sunshine and seeing through the rain and it turning into a rainbow. So I guess your meeting was some sort of revelation to them. It's like you broke through the barriers. It's like you've chipped this person who seems quite stubborn in some way. Doesn't let many people in, I don't think. And I guess there's something you've said, something that you've done, something you've expressed, I think, by being quite open and being gentle or warm, that has got their goat in some way and opened them up. Right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 3. So did they want to make a move last time you were together? Yes, and it was a surprise to them as it was, as it would have been to you. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Bye.